Hello, my name is Grant Dunn, and in this video I'm going to be talking about a tool called AppEagle. AppEagle is an automatic repricing software that I use to manage all of the repricing in my Amazon Fulfillment by Amazon business. So there's a lot to, I shouldn't say there's a lot, but there's plenty about this tool that you would need to know. I'm going to go over some of the basics in this video. And just so you know, there's another similar tool to AppEagle. This is AppEagle is found at www.appeagle.com. Another tool you can use that is similar is www.becool.com, and that's be cool with a Q on the cool.com. And this is actually less expensive of a software. I think there are some small limitations in comparison to AppEagle. I started using AppEagle significantly before this tool ever was available, and I just haven't switched over or had any real reason to switch over other than this is a much lower cost from my understanding. So anyway, let's just get into it. Oops. Okay, so here's the dashboard, and you can kind of play around with this type of stuff. You can see here it's measuring my buy box percentage, and that's really what the goal of a repricer is to increase your probability of being in the buy box on any of your many listings on Amazon. Obviously, if you have the buy box, you're going to increase your probability of making the sale. Now, real quick, just so you know, I'm going to make this, actually I'll show you what the buy box is here in just a second. No, I'll show you real quick. I don't want to forget. Some of you that are watching this video may not even know what a buy box is. So let's just say Lego. And let's click on this one here. Okay, so this is the buy box right here. You can see here, as this loads up, it says here ships from and sold by Amazon.com. Okay, so now if you had the buy box, this would say ships from Amazon or sold by, whatever your store name is, and shipped by Amazon, assuming that you're using Fulfillment by Amazon. And so essentially the buy box is when this button is connected to your store. So most of the time when a customer comes to a listing, and this tool right here, this isn't looking normal, right? This is a tool that I have added to my Amazon results, as well as this one down here, and I'll talk about these in another video, maybe a little bit in this video as well. But again, your goal is to have the buy box as much as possible, because that's going to increase the probability of you making the sale. So yeah, again, I can go into that in more detail in another video or training. So back to AppEagle. So basically what you have is several different strategies. So again, I'm gonna try to show you the basics of this. If I go over to my strategies here, so these are the many different strategies that I use to categorize my repricing strategies. And again, in my personal coaching, I can go into more detail on how I set these strategies up. It's very important that you do it correctly, and because you could make a mistake and sell your inventory for far less than what you want to sell it for. But like I said, in another video maybe, or like I said in private coaching, I can talk in more detail about this if you need it. But these strategies basically get assigned to each listing. So you can see all these are listings that I have assigned to this strategy. I think many of these are probably out of stock, so I don't really have that many units or listings available currently or active currently. Let's go back to the let's see, we got listings, activity reports, marketplace. Okay, so I think that's probably all I'll show you in regards to the strategies, and any of these other details you can look through once you create your account. But what I want to mainly show you is how I basically manage my inventory. One, I do manage my inventory with the strategies. For example, if it's a grocery item, I have a strategy specifically for grocery, so that I can go into the listings that are under that strategy and reprice them. And the reason I do that for grocery is because grocery has expiration dates, and I want to make sure that I move my product before they expire. Same with like health and beauty and personal care. A lot of those items will expire, and so I have a specific strategy that I've formulated just for those items, most mainly so that I can single them out and go in and reprice them, and not have to see all of my listings, all the toys and all the other things, but just the ones that, for example, expire. So what I do, you can see here we got no minimum price. What this means is it's new inventory that's landed into Amazon, and it hasn't had a minimum price set, or I haven't really set up my strategy yet. Inactive listings, competition below my minimum. So there's that. Really, this is probably the more important part. At my minimum price. So all these listings right here are currently sitting at my minimum price because the competition is currently lower than my minimum price. And again, this will make more sense as I go through this video. The reason that I wouldn't necessarily worry about this is because a lot of the inventory that we buy, competition will come in on it and they'll drive the price down. Maybe they bought it for a lower price, but most of the inventory that I buy will usually recover its price. So if I'm buying a liquidation or I'm buying clearance items, so are many other sellers, for example, at Marshalls or TJ Maxx or wherever they're shopping. We're all buying the same product. Some of us are buying it for less money. Some of us are, considering the gift cards that we bought it with, discounted gift cards, whatever. What I like to do is I like to make sure I have a sufficient amount of profit, and then I will wait for the, if the competition drives the price down on Amazon and my listings end up landing at my minimum price, I will just sit and let those wait until eventually the market, or the competition, the supply on that particular listing will go down, and then eventually the price will come back up to where within my range. And so those are listings that are sitting at my minimum price. You can see right now I'm holding 300 buy boxes. On any given time, I might have well over 500 buy boxes, depending on the time of day. Usually I don't go much less than 300, at least currently. And then these are all listings that are at my max price. So once you see me set up my listings here, I'm going to go into my nomins and show you this real quick. But once you see me set up my listings, you're going to find that I also have a max price. These are all listings where there really is no competition within my price range, and so I'm automatically taking the max price that I have set. One thing that I will do on occasion is I'll come into the listings that are sitting at my max price, assuming that they're not selling yet or haven't sold yet because maybe my price is too high, and I will start to slowly mark those down, taking my maximum price down a little bit so that I could potentially get that sale, right? Because the reason that they're maybe sitting in this category, one, they're sitting in this category because they're at my max price, and it's possible that they stay here for a while simply because my price is too high, okay, my max price. So let's go in now. One thing I do is I use all of these different options to reprice my inventory, to increase sales volume or to liquidate whatever it is that I'm trying to do at the time. But what I do check is almost on a daily basis, if not every other day. I come in and I check for no-mins. And like I said, this is listings. This is product that has landed at Amazon and hasn't been assigned to a strategy yet. So what I'll do is once I'm in here, you can see here there's no details inside the strategy. I don't have my minimum price or my maximum price set or anything like that. So really, essentially, the price that Charles, my shipper, sent these in at, and he's trained to send these in at a much higher price than what the product is going for, just to prevent from selling it for too little money. For too little of a price. Because possible, let's say he priced this at $35, and then by the time it lands into Amazon, it's 46 bucks. Well, I don't want him to price it at 35 bucks and have it land at Amazon and sell for 35 bucks if the minimum is at 36, or 46, right? So he always prices stuff high, and then it's my job to come in once it lands in Amazon and set the parameters up. Okay, so let's move into that. So essentially, this is what I do. I click on, you can see here I code all my SKUs. So this code is relevant to the store. Same with that, same with that, same with that. These numbers right here really don't mean anything. I'm thinking about having Charles put in the date that he shipped this in, so that I have kind of a reference point of how long it's been at Amazon before the store code. But then after the store code, I have the price that I purchased it at. Now, the way I record my stuff is I don't take consideration the gift cards, right? So I most likely bought this for less than the price listed here. Same with this one here. I probably paid more, like $8.50 instead of $9.99. That's just the way I do it. I consider gift cards as basically insurance, and they're just additional extra profits. Okay, so now one thing I will do, if this was a grocery listing, for example, what I do have Charles do is I have him put the expiration date here. That way I know when it expires and I can make sure it sells in sufficient time. All right, let's open this up. Something we should consider here is the size. Looks like it's a small. So I'll come into here. So everything's loading up, kind of takes a second. Alright, so you can tell here there is no variations on this listing. This whole listing is a size small. So I got my keep a graph down here. What this is called right here is called Rev Seller. This is pretty much the FBA calculator, but it's right here on my Amazon listing page, which I really appreciate, and I'll show you how I use it. This down here is Keepa. It's keepa.com, Keepa, and you can load this extension onto your Chrome browser as well, and then it'll basically give you all these graphs for each listing. So again, we paid $16.34 for this product. Punch that in, and we can see here this is my estimated return on investment and my margin, 39 bucks. So what I usually will do, because I know that most of these are purchased with gift cards, I'll bring it down to just about above $1, and I'll make that my minimum price to start off with. It may change at a later date, but that's just how I do it. And then this is a Nike shirt, so I'm probably going to price this at 42 bucks. Right now, obviously the minimum price right now is $39. So what this is going to what's going to happen is I'm setting my minimum price up at $29, my maximum price up at $42, and the way I have my strategy set up is to match the lowest FBA price, and that's what these guys are here. Here's an example of the buy box here, sold by Bayback Outfitters and fulfilled by Amazon. All right, so this is a prime offer. It's sold by Bayback Outfitters, and Amazon is the one that's going to ship it to the customer. And you can see these are all prime sellers, prime. So that means, and there's my, so again, that's kind of how that works. And here's the buy box button. So anyway, 29, 42, and then I set my my strategy up. General merchandise is basically everything that is not grocery, health and beauty, liquidation, books. I have a Q4 conservative strategy, a Q4 sell now strategy, and then I have a shoe strategy as well, but I'm not really selling shoes anymore like I used to. I sell a lot of shoes, I just don't use this strategy because this was for liquidation pallets of shoes, and I don't purchase those anymore. Let's go on to the next one. So we paid $7.50 for this game. So we put this in here. Oops. Yeah, this takes a little bit of time to load in. So I put my buy cost in there. Drop this down to $1. So my minimum is going to be 15 bucks. And I like to keep it doesn't bring up any data, at least this time. Sometimes I'll click this button and this will take me all over to the offers page, but it's categorized by just the Amazon offers. Looks like Amazon's back ordered. One thing I'll mention, a little tip, is the way I set my strategy up inside of AppEagle is to not compete with sellers that have their inventory currently back ordered. So now if this went live and was officially for sale and no longer back ordered, then my repricer would come in and match $19.99, considering the fact that my minimum is 15. But since it's not, gonna go and match back ordered items or back ordered sellers, I'm actually gonna take this price right here, $24.37. Okay, which just because I'm more likely to get the buy box, as you can tell here, right? Amazon, well, Amazon does have the buy box, which isn't a big deal. Oftentimes the back ordered sellers won't have the buy box, but Amazon also favors themselves over everybody else, as they should. This is their marketplace. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my maximum price at $30, actually $32. Again, if it ends up hitting my maximum for any reason at some point, I can always work my price down. But if it does, if let's say the competition sells out for some reason before I do, I'm going to be able to match that $32 price tag automatically, right? And maximize my potential profit. So this tool is really doing two things. It's making me highly competitive so that I am always matching the low offer, giving me the highest probability of making the next sale, right? As well as if these offers start to sell out, let's say I have 50 of these things. I don't know if I would buy 50. Let's see the rank. Yeah. In electronics, that's actually, if that is correct, that could be kind of a goofy thing. This isn't a weird category. Usually video games are in the video game category, but this one's in the electronics category, so I'm not really sure about all that. But it definitely has a lot of reviews, though. Look at that. Digimon Story. It probably does sell quite a bit. But let's say I had 50 of these items, and as these sellers started to sell out, slowly but surely, right, the low FBA price landed at $27.49. Well, without a repricer that's set up the way I have it set up, I might still be priced at $24 because that's the last time I repriced was at $24, and I'm missing all these sales. You see? So it's really doing two things. It's maximizing my potential profit and maximizing my opportunity to win the buy box. So let's do a few more and then we'll end the video. So $9.99. Looks like we have some size options. Okay, we need to figure out what size this is, so that's when I come over here and I click this button. And looks like we have a size small that we're looking at. The reason I had to click this button is because the size isn't listed in the title here, whereas here it was listed as small. Now, granted, this didn't have any variations. This one does. So I click on this button right here. It takes me straight over to the offer page here. All of the different offers. And you can see that the size is listed right there. It's highlighted in yellow. So that tells me what size of a glove I actually sent in. Now I know my price before gift cards is $9.99. This is a good product. So I'll drop this down to 17 because I'm very aggressive. I want to sell my product. Simple as that. Get it gone. I don't concern myself too much with how much profit I make on an individual SKU. I'm more concerned in the overall performance of my store. So here I'm looking at Keepa, and I'm just kind of looking at the historical high price point. Looks like, it's even been up to this price. I don't even know if it's sold at that. Maybe that if it did, that's craziness. But you can see here's more realistic of a price point. I really hope somebody didn't pay $400 for that. Anyway, so it looks like the historical high at a realistic price point is $30.31. So I will probably jump in here because one thing about Keepa is it's recording the lowest merchant fulfill offer, not necessarily the FBA offer, depending on what the competition is at the time. But we're going to set it at 35, and then we're going to save it. So you can see here, this is getting prepared to adjust my pricing. Now, this actually is showing that it's going to match this merchant fulfill offer. However, the way my strategy is set up, that is not correct. It says that, but that's not what's going to happen. This is going to come in and it's going to match the lowest. Let's go back over here. The lowest FBA offer. So this one here. So Crayley Outdoor Stencil Pack, $279. So we paid $279 for this one. Oh shoot. Accidentally pressed the number lock. 2. Oh crud. Okay, let's try it one more time. 279. There we go. Alright. So here's something about this product. And this is a good learning experience if you're learning how to buy product for Amazon. You can see this rank is really high in the toys and games category, 841,000. Generally with toys we're trying to stay in the 100,000 range, but here's the kicker. When I bought this, there was no offers. I'm currently, you can see here, there's no merchant fulfill offers, and I'm the only FBA offer. And so when I looked at this product, what I was looking at was this back here. You could see it went out of stock according to the Keepa graph back in December 13th. It's been out of stock since. So I see this opportunity where, you know, it was $11, $10 for a product that I can buy for $2.79. So let's just see what happens if I sold it for 11. I double my money. What if I sell it for 8? I still make money. So I'm going to come in here, $7.95, and then my goal is to price this at a point where I think it's going to actually sell. Now the cool thing about this is we're getting back into the warm season, so you know, chalk on the asphalt is going to be more common for kids to be doing. $10.95 is the historical price here. That's probably not a bad price point. I'm going to try $11.95. So you can see here I'm going to make 167% return on investment with this product if I sell it at $11.95, which I imagine it will. If I have to, I'll lower the price. Or competition might come in and they'll lower the price. And if they do, I'll match them. Alright, so Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at $4.50. Let's go check it out. So not the sexiest rank, but it definitely does sell. It's even sold for more. This is what I mean by Keepa not picking up on the FBA offer. In fact, these orange triangles here, those are the FBA offers. The blue line is usually what you have on the results, and that only represents, oftentimes will only represent the merchant fulfill offer, not including the shipping. So if you look here, let's actually go open up all the offers here. So here is the lowest merchant fulfill offer at $9.48 plus $4.77 in shipping. You come back here and you can see that $9.48. Okay, and that's why you can only take this certain. You have to understand what this blue line means because it doesn't represent the FBA historical pricing. So I like to look at the all-time. You can see this is sold at, you know, 17 bucks. Anyway, so we'll come down here, probably price this at $10.95 on the min, and let's go for $17.95 for the max. General, let's get it sold. Alright. One thing I'll do too often because I like to kind of reprice it in order, I can come over here, click live, and then click the down arrow, and that's going to list all of my no mins from the most SKUs to the least. So let's jump on this one, $4.50. We'll just do one more and then I'm going to end the video. $4.50. How about $9.95? Try to make at least $1, maybe a little more. Come down, look at the historical price. Oh wow, look at that. It's a pretty cool history on this one. So this is a good seller. Looks like we're going to get to sell it for. So this is a merchant fulfill. Okay, and they're significantly lower than the FBA, but I'll bet these FBA sellers are selling it at $16.99. So let's do, I'm going to do $18.95 for my max. I will tell you that this is a pretty big gap between a merchant fulfill offer and an FBA offer. It's very significant. It's probably why the merchant fulfill offer is getting the buy box over the merchant fulfill offer is getting the buy box over the FBA offers, because there's such a wide gap. However, my experience is that FBA is definitely going to get, and that's fulfillment by Amazon. That's when Amazon's shipping your product to the customer for you. FBA definitely gets favored because this is inventory that's at Amazon, and Amazon's going to get paid for shipping, selling, obviously, just like they would get a commission when they sell the merchant's product, but they're also going to get to pick it, pack it, and ship it, and all of that is money that they generate for their company. So they want to sell stuff that's in their warehouse over, somebody else's. That's why there has to be a significant price gap between merchants, merchants who are shipping their own items versus merchants who are using the Amazon FBA system. So anyway, if this didn't sell for any reason, I would come in and I would lower my max price to get closer to this $11.88 price point. I could probably come in and price at $14.95 on this and probably crush out my products pretty quickly. I'd sell all 8 of these, or let's see, I have 9 of them, pretty quick. In fact, I think I'm going to come in here in $16.95. I just feel like that gap is way too significant. So this is going to be a general merchandise, and it's loaded. Okay, I think that's enough to explain how I use AppEagle. Part of my process for repricing and investigating all of the listings within my store obviously includes these tools, RevSeller, as well as the Keepa extension graph. There's so much more that I can teach and train on these topics. If you do need private coaching, please connect with me. I'm willing to work with people who are serious about building their business and their store up this year. In 2017, I'm looking for at least 10. I'd like to help at least 10 other Amazon sellers do well over 6 figures, multiple 6 figures in their store this year. I have that. I can do that. I can help you if you need it. This year we'll do 7 figures on Amazon, and hopefully 7 figures plus, and who knows. And actually, I know it'll be more than 7 figures, just a matter of just how much exactly. So I hope that this was a good video. I hope you appreciate it and you learned something. Go ahead and start using your automatic repricer. One thing that I tell clients when I am talking about, I get the question, when should I, start using a repricer? And the way, one thing I do teach my clients is that they should be repricing regularly. So when their store's brand new, it's something that I have them try to do at least once a day. I should say once a day, if at least once every other day. But what will happen is, as your store grows and your inventory grows and you have more stock, more listings, it becomes a challenge to keep up with repricing your inventory manually through Seller Central. So when I do get asked that question, Grant, when should I start using an automatic repricer? My answer is as soon as it becomes a burden. Right? As soon as repricing your inventory is burdensome, it's taking away too much of your time, you need to start using automation, aka a repricer like AppEagle or Be Cool. Okay? Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was awesome. Appreciate you, love you. So glad that I have you as a loyal member of watching my videos, a subscriber on YouTube, or a member of my Facebook fan page. I'm really excited about 2017 and everything we're going to be able to offer all of you. So appreciate you, love you. Have a great day.